Today is the summer solstice, the official start of summer for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, and the longest day of the year.
The sun is getting ready for its own kind of increased activity. Here to talk about all the interesting things happening is NASA's space weather analyst, Carina. Alden, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, and thank you.
Today is the summer solstice, so explain what that means to our viewers.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, it is the longest day of the year, and how that happens is that the Earth is on an axis, and this axis is tilted either towards or away from the sun. Right now, it is 23.5 degrees tilted exactly towards the sun, which is giving us that longest day of the year, at least for us in the Northern Hemisphere. While in the Southern Hemisphere, they're tilted 23.5 degrees away from the sun, giving them their shortest day of the year, aka the winter solstice.
Okay, and NASA, I understand, has some big plans to celebrate the sun in the coming year. So why is it so exciting to, be a sun right now?
Yeah, so it is super exciting to be part of the heliophysics world right now. So we've got some exciting things coming up, including an annular eclipse. And during the annular eclipse, we'll be seeing that this October of 2023. That's usually when you get that ring of fire around the sun. And then in April of 2024, we'll get the total solar eclipse, where the moon will perfectly cover the entire sun, and we'll get to see the wispy part of the sun, aka the solar corona. And then speaking of that corona, we'll have Parker Solar Probe in December of 2024, making its closest approach around the sun, where Parker is going to do the unthinkable and try to touch the sun.
Oh, yeah, and I want to mention the totality in April. That is going to be passing right over southeastern Oklahoma, so we're expecting potentially a lot of people to come to our state to see that totality.
Yes, it's quite a feat. If you've never seen one, I highly recommend seeing it. If you missed the 2017, you got to make it for the 2024.
Yeah, you mentioned all of this activity. How is this going to impact us here on Earth?
So it won't impact us directly here on Earth, as you would think. Like, you're not going to see increased sunburns or anything here on Earth. But this increased activity, the sun has an 11-year solar cycle. So during this 11-year solar cycle, we have low points of solar activity and high points. So right now we're on the approach to that highest point, aka solar maximum. And during that time, we'll be seeing increases in solar flaring activity and coronal mass ejections. And what that means for us here on Earth is that we may have some disruptions to our satellite. So you may see disruptions to your satellite TV or your GPS systems. If you're using your phone to get from point A to point B, you may have a little detour that you weren't expecting, and that could be possibly from a solar storm going on and approaching our Earth here.
Huh, interesting.
I'm no scientist, but I do know the sun is a star.
Yeah.
So how does understanding that star help us understand other stars that are much farther away from us?
Yeah, so it's fantastic having the sun right here in our backyard, where we're able to get our data really close and personal. It's not quite the same as if you were a meteorologist. Weather people have this beautiful, wonderful ability to be right here on Earth and get to test the weather as it's going around you. With space weather, it's a little more difficult, and you have to approach what's going on with the sun from a far distance, since we don't want to burn ourselves. But with the sun, the nice thing is that we can take what we know about the sun here and apply it to other stars and other solar systems using satellite or using telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope, where we can view suns with other planets going around that sun and see, are any of those planets habitable? Is there any life out there? And we get to see that from right here and apply it elsewhere.
Carina, you've been very entertaining, very energetic. I'm highly motivated now for multiple reasons. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We want to let folks know that they can check out the website go.nasa.gov/HelioBigYear. Is that right?
Yes, and you can join us on Twitter as well at Helio or at NASA Sun.
There we go. Carina Alden, thank you so much from NASA. Well, there's a separate contest going on in Omaha aside from the Men's College World Series. We'll show how fans are celebrating their teams.
And it's the end of the road for the ORU Golden Eagles in the Men's College World Series. A special message from their coach to the team after they lost to TCU.